lecture we are going to study unit number 2, that is theory of production and next is theory of production. Production theory is the economic process of producing output from inputs. The production is organized activity of transforming resources into finished products in the form of goods and services. The objective of production is to satisfy demand through a transforming process. Here the input may be a land, labor, capital, entrepreneur, and economic processes called transformation, and we get output may be a goods or services. Next at a production definition, according to Adam Smith, production is a creation of physical asset. According to Marshall, production is the creation of utilities. And Phillips Cottle says, production is a creation of bundles of satisfactions. There are three aspects to production process. First is the quantity of a good or services produced. The second one, the form of goods or services created. And the last one is to distribution of goods and services which was produced. Next is utility. Utility refers to the total satisfaction received from consuming the goods or services. There are number of types of utility. First is farm utility. In this, convert the form of raw material into a marketable goods. For example, food is converted into a chair or table. Next is place utility. Product of rural area fetch higher price in urban area. For example, price of fruits and vegetables. Next is time utility. Production in a peak season with a low price is stored and marketed in a slack season at a higher price, as the price of onion is high in a slack season. Next is possession utility. Here, transfer the ownership in a product through buying and selling deal. For example, buy and resell. Next is measurement of utility. First is cardinal utility concept and second one is ordinal utility concept. Next is cardinal utility concept. It believes that utility is cardinal or quantitative, like other mathematical variable, height, weight. Measuring the unit of utility is utiles. For example, one individual gains 20 utils from ice cream and another gains 10 utils from coffee. Number of difficulty involved in a measurement of utility are changing customer's mood, taste or preference. Utility is different for person to person. Next is ordinal utility concept. According to this concept, utility cannot be measured numerically. It can only be ranked as 1, 2, 3. We can give a preference. For this instance, an individual, one person prefer ice cream over the coffee. Means utility of ice cream is given a rank 1 and coffee as a rank 2. Utility meets the theoretical requirement of consumer behavior and analysis. Next topic is factor of production. First is land, labor, and third one is capital, and fourth one is entrepreneur. First one is land. Land is the economic resource covering the natural resources found within an economy. This resource include wood, land, fisheries, farms, etc. Is labor. Labor represents human available to transform a raw material or a natural resources into a goods. Human include all individuals capable of working in an economy and providing various services to the individuals or businesses. In figure, we can see different types of labor. Nurse, then cooks, then mechanics, then farmers. Next is the capital. Capital has two economic definitions as a factor of production. First is capital can represent the financial resources which company use to purchase natural resources like land and other capital goods. And second definition is capital also represent major physical asset which individual and company use when producing goods or services. These assets include buildings, production facilities, equipment, vehicles, as we can see in a figure. Fourth one is entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is a person who set up a business and take a financial risk in hope of profits. Entrepreneur usually have an idea for creating a valuable goods. Next is production function. Production function relates the physical output of a production process of physical input. It is a mathematical function that relates the output with the number of inputs. Production function capital Q is equal to F into K comma L. Here Q is the quantity of output, K means capital and L means a labor. For example, simple production function Q is equal to K plus L. Cobb-Douglas production function Q is equal to under root K into L, and Leontief production function Q is equal to mean of K comma L. Next is the law of variable proportions. The law of variable proportions states that as the quantity of one's factor is increased, keeping all other facts are fixed, the marginal product of the fact will eventually decline. This law describes the input-output relation when the output is increased by varying the quantity of only one input. In the short run, some facts of proportion are fixed like capital, land, while other facts are variable like labor, raw materials. The short-run production function describes the relation between quantity of a variable facts and quantity of a commodity produced. equation of short-run production Q is equal to function of F L comma K bar. Q means output, L means a labor, K means a capital, and here bar indicates that it is a constant. This law is also known as the law of diminishing returns because a point will reach where the marginal physical product tends to diminish slowly if the quantity of a variable factor is increased continuously. Now some assumption of law of variable production. Only one factor is variable while all factors are constant. All units of variable factors are homogeneous. There is no changes in technologies. It is possible to vary the proportions in which different inputs are combined. It assumes a short-run situation. The production is measured in physical unit, for example, in tons, quintals. Now next is stages of law of returns to scale. Now let us see the law of returns to scale. What is the statement? Returns to scale refers to the change in output when all the factors inputs are changed simultaneously in the same proportion in long run. When a firm changes the quantity of all inputs in a long run, it changes its scale of production. It is a long run concept. There are three types: increasing return to scale, constant returns to scale, and third is next is increasing returns to scale. Increase in total output is more than proportional to increase in all the input. Here what happened? When proportionate increase in total output is more than proportionate increase in input, it increased returns to scale. If all the inputs are increased by 100%, then the output increased more than 100% here. Next is constant returns to scale. It increased the total output is in exact proportion to the increasing input. Means if you increase 100% in input, the output will also increase 100%. If you change 10% in input, the 10% output will be increased. If all the inputs are increased by 100%, then output also increased by 100%. Means when proportionate increase, total output is equal to the proportionate increase in input. It is constant returns to scale. Causes are internal economics and diseconomics. Internal economics and external economics and diseconomics, and divisible factors. Next is diminishing returns to scale. Increase in output is less than proportional to increase in input. Means here if all the inputs are increased by 100%, then output is increased by less than 100%. Means here where proportionate increase total input is less than proportionate increase in output. It is called diminishing returns to scale. Causes are individual factors may be insufficient and less productive. Next is produce problems of supervision and coordination. Next is large management creates difficulties of control and rigidities, and it may be a higher price or diminishing productivities of the factors. Next topic is cost. Classification of cost. First in terms of service, it's long run cost and short run cost. Next is cost behavior to production volume. In this, fixed cost, indirect cost, overhead cost, and second is variable cost. Then after changes in total cost in relation to creation specified volume. In this, total cost, average cost and marginal cost. And the last one is other important costs are opportunity cost, implicit cost and sunk cost. Next is long run cost. The long run costs are added when organization change production level over a time in response to expected economic profit or loss. In the long run cost, there are fixed factors of production: the land, labor, capital goods and entrepreneurship all vary to reach long run cost of producing goods or services. The long run is a planning and implementation stage for procedure. They analyze the current and future state of market in order to make production decision. Next is short run cost. The short run costs are added in real time during production process. Fixed costs have no impact of short run cost. Only variable cost and revenue affects the short run production. The short run cost increase or decrease based on variable cost as well as the rate of production. If the firm manages its short run cost well over a time, it will be more likely to succeed in reaching the desired goal. Next is fixed cost, indirect cost or overhead cost. In economics, the fixed costs are business expenses that are not dependent on the level of goods or services produced. They tends to be time related, such as salaries or rents being paid per month, and are often referred to as the overhead cost. Next is variable cost. Variable costs are the costs that change in proportion to the goods or services that our business produces. For example, assume a business produces clothes. A variable cost of these products would be the direct material. For example, clothes and the direct labor. Next is total cost. The total cost is sum of total fixed cost plus total variable cost. Average cost. The average cost obtained by dividing the total cost of producing a given volume of a production by a volume of production of the product. For example, average cost is equal to total cost divided by total volume produced. Next is marginal cost. The benefits of mass production can be seen in this marginal cost. For example, if 1000 toys are manufactured in 50,000 and 1001 toys are required 50,030 rupees, then the marginal cost is 30. Next is opportunity cost. If you have a 50,000 rupees to invest, you have a two options: share market and real estate. If you select the share market and get 400 returns in 1 year, And at the same time, if you select and invest in real estate and you will get 5,000 returns in 1 year, then you have to forget 1,000 due to not selecting real estate. This 1,000 is your opportunity cost. In real practice, if alternative X is selected from a set of competing, then alternative X, Y, then the corresponding investment is the selected investment is not available for any other purpose. Next is implicit cost. The implicit cost is to be understood with reference to explicit cost. The explicit cost is certain and fixed, like 10% interest on bonds indicates 10% explicit cost. If the bonds are issued today at 92 rupees, which are repayable after 1 year with its face value of Rs 100, then 8 rupees will become the implicit cost. The implicit cost in percentage will be 92 divided by 8 is equal to 11.5%. Next is sunk cost. Sunk costs are the such cash flow suffered currently which cannot be reversed at a large stage. For example, the government stamp duty or registration fees or a consultancy fees or a project report fees, etc. After suffering such expense, if the business is not started, then such fees cannot be recovered. Next topic is break-even analysis. The break-even analysis is used to find cut-off production volume from where a firm will start receiving profit. A production volume less than break-even quantity will put the business in loss condition. Next is assumption of break-even analysis. All the costs can be separated into fixed and variable components. Fixed cost will remain constant at all volumes of output. Next is variable cost will fluctuate in direct proportion to volume of output. Selling price will remain constant. Product mix will remain unchanged. No opening or closing stock. Productivity per workers will remain unchanged. There will be no change in general price level. Next is break-even analysis equation. It's important. Suppose S is a selling price per unit, V is a variable cost per unit, FC means a fixed cost per period, and Q is a volume of production. Then total sale S of a firm is given by a following formula. S is equal to small s means a selling price per unit into volume of production means a capital Q. Total cost capital TC is equal to total variable cost plus FC fixed cost. Next is limitation of break-even analysis. In practice, it may not be possible to achieve a clear-cut division of cost into a fixed and variable type. It should be noted that fixed cost tends to vary beyond a certain level of activity. Next is, in practice, variable costs vary with the volume of output but not necessarily in direct proportion. Next is assumption that selling price remain unchanged gives a straight revenue line which may not be true. In practice, product mix may not remain unchanged. It is not possible. Next, distribution of a fixed cost over a variety of production pose a problem. Next, it assumes that the business condition may not change, which is not true, which is not possible. Assumption not change in opening and closing stock of finished product. This is not true in a practice. Capital employed is an important determinant of the profitability of concern, which break-even analysis does not take into the consideration. Next is application of break-even analysis theory. Determination of selling price, which will give the desired profit. It will help to set the desired profit. Fixation of sales volume to cover a given return on capital employed. Next is forecasting cost and profit as result of change in volume. Next is it gives the suggestion for shift in sales mix. Inter-firms comparison of profitability. Next is determination of cost and revenue at various level of output. It is an aid in management, decision making, forecasting, long-term planning and maintaining profitability. It reveals the business strength and profit earning capacity of a certain without much difficulty and effort.